us cunts. You're one of the actual movie makers that's genuine, and you make yourself really accessible to the audience, and I think that's why we really love you.
Thank you.
So my question is...
No, we got shit to do.
Okay. My question is, you talked about Haley a little bit, your daughter.
Harley, yes.
Harley. I fucked it up already. Harley Quinn.
Don't say Harley and fuck in a sentence real close like that. That unnerves me a little bit. We're trying to raise her as a lesbian, so please. I tell her all the time, I'm like, men are bad, pussy rocks. I hope it takes.
So, you named your daughter Harley Quinn. A lot of celebrities name their daughters really crazy shit like Apple. How did that go with Jennifer? How did you come to name your daughter after a villain from DC?
She supported. We had just hooked up at that point, and she had just moved out to Jersey. And that's when, she got pregnant with Harley and stuff. Prior to that, she started living with me. And I know this for a fact because I have a picture of the event. She was, I had this big tub right off the bedroom in this apartment I was living in on Broad Street in Red Bank, right next door to the Secret Stash. And she was taking a bath one day. She was like, I'm going to take a bath. Can I have something to read? And, back in those days, comics stacked fucking everywhere. So I was like, yeah, by all means, here, read this, man. This just came out. It's badass. She goes, what is it? I was like, this is called Mad Love. It's a book by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. I said, and these guys, they created this character, Harley Quinn, for the Batman animated series. And this is the first time they put it in print form. It's really fucking, the art's cool, the story's cool. Check it out. So she was in the tub, filled with bubbles and shit. Got in the tub, and she was reading Mad Love, and she had a drink in a C-3PO Burger King glass, sitting next to her and stuff. And I know this for a fact because I creepily took a picture from the other side of the room. She was new in my life. I didn't know if she was going to stick around, so I was like, I want pictures of these tits. And snapped a pic of her, and it's still on my desk to this day, proving that you could be creepy and it could work out. So that picture was the moment. She got out of the tub and she goes, oh, this is great. This is really entertaining. I was like, right? She's like, Harley Quinn is such a great name. If we ever have a kid, we should name it Harley Quinn. And I was like, get out of here. Really? I was like, you're just saying this. She goes, no, I think that's an awesome name. And right then and there, I mean, look, I knew I was going to be with Schwalbach from the first moment we fucked. But then and there, I was like, I'm never leaving this woman, Ain't many women in the world that go like, go ahead, name the kid after the Joker's horse sidekick. So she's a pretty special lady. And then I, believe me, I push the parameters all the time, though. I was like, if we have another kid, can we name him Batman Jr.? She was like, no. But it was her idea. And I remember I choked, like, in the hospital room when the kid was born. I was just like, we can't name her. We've been calling her Harley Quinn for months before she came out. And we were prepared. We didn't know if she was a boy or girl at first. We're like, if it's a girl, Harley Quinn. If it's a boy, Charlie Quinn. We were committed to that and stuff. So when she came out as a girl, just a beautiful little kid and whatnot. All that hypothetical conversation about like, wouldn't it be fucked up? Like, let's call her Harley Quinn, went out the door because suddenly she was a reality. And I was just like, we can't call this kid Harley Quinn. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, this is horrible. We give this kid this name, she could be made fun of her whole fucking life. They'll call her Horley Quinn, if she's chubby like me, they'll call her Portly Quinn and shit. If she's passed out, Hardly Quinn, I said, you just can't saddle a kid with a trick name like this, man. We should do that for the dog. She's like, we did, Scully and Mulder. I was like, I know. And we got Scully and Mulder, and here's our daughter, Harley Quinn, This is our Bible TV guide. But she defended it. She was just like, no, that's a cool name, man. Don't turn around on that name. She's going, it's a really cool name and whatnot. And, fuck what anyone says about it. She fought for the name and kind of kept it. I was ready to buckle. So she liked it first. She picked it. She kind of willed the child into existence. She picked the name before the kid existed. And then once the kid happened, she wasn't going to let that name go. So Harley Quinn, she doesn't really identify as Harley Quinn so much. Like, I call her Quinster. Jen calls her Harley Quinn when she's like mad at her, like Harley Quinn. But I think she pretty much just identifies as Harley to her friends. That's been weird, man. This year she took a huge jump in terms of like interactivity, social media, and all that shit. Like, she got a Facebook page through her school and whatnot. And and she keeps coming up to us and going like, can I get a Twitter account? And I'm like, fuck no. Because I don't need my kids seeing my Twitter. I'm on Twitter all day going like, I just buried my tongue so far up my wife's ass I could clean her teeth. My kid turns on Twitter and sees that, that may indeed turn her into the lesbian we're hoping to raise. So that's where that is.
So, as a thank you for my appreciation of Just Being Great, I don't expect anything in return, but I bought your daughter this, which is a Harley Quinn statue.
That's so sweet, man. Thank you.
I know that you just lost some weight, but I did.
Like I said, man, I'm stupid. I'll put it on again, so let's start right now. Thank you, that's awesome. Give it to one of these cats, and I'll make sure that it gets right to eBay. I mean, to me. That's awesome, sir. Thank you. But please, you don't have to bring fucking gifts or anything like that. I should be bringing gifts to you guys and whatnot. By virtue, they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, where's our free shit? I'll tell you where it is. You go to smodcast.com. It's all free as fuck. So there you go. It's all there for you. Thank you for that stuff, man. I'll say, how about we meet back in the back afterwards?
That would be awesome. Thank you.
When I say meet in the back, I mean we fuck. Thank you, sir. Right on, good to know. All right. Who next? We don't have much time left. Oh my God, it's so sad. Comic-Con 2011 is going to end for me soon. And there are a lot of people that are always like, stop saying Comic-Con. Fuck you, I'm 40. I'll do what I want. How are you?
I'm really good, man. Thanks. I just want to say, last year's Comic-Con, you really made it for me, man. Like, hanging out with you backstage for 5 minutes was the greatest moment ever.
Thank you, sir. What did we do?
We just talked a lot, shot the shit and all that stuff. And talked about movies. And that's what because I'm a huge filmmaker. I want to be a filmmaker, too.
I'm a huge filmmaker as well. So big they threw me off a fucking plane. Can you believe it?
Same size. Doesn't get the
Not at all. You look good. I wish I had your body, man. If I had your body, I could have done some shit.
Anyway, I wanted to know, with Hit Somebody, are you going to do the same self-distribution deal with Red State?
That one, no. I've been giving that a lot of thought. I mean, this has been gratifying doing it with Red State, but I knew I could do it with Red State because there's a small film budget of $4 million. Hit Somebody, since it spans 3 decades, I always knew that movie was going to be more, 15, 20 million bucks. So we knew going in that the chances of us being able to do Hit Somebody this way are pretty slim. So we started looking, of course, at more traditional and started thinking about maybe somebody will finance it and put it out and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, doing Red State and working with various people we've worked with and whatnot, made the relationships we've made, like in Canada and whatnot, where the movie makes absolute sense. It's kind of made it a little easier to kind of get things done and move things forward and whatnot. So, did I answer the question or no? Am I just looping?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
But, thanks again for last year. It was great. If you write a movie, I will be happy to direct it anytime.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Fair enough, man. Thank you. That'd be weird if I gave you the movie and Scott Mosier was like, I'm right here. Give me a movie to direct. I'm like, no, I like that guy. I met him at Comic-Con twice. Hey, how are you? Holy shit, she breaks up the sausage party. Well done. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Excellent, very, very excellent. But again, I say this every year, I'm just going to read it again because I just finally noticed it. On the back of our name tags, there's always a little thing that says, welcome to Comic-Con. Please be aware that many members of the audience may be under 18 years of age. Well, if they are, they just learned a shit ton of things. How are you?
Great. My question is, well, A, what was the hardest movie you've ever had to pitch? And B, how did you overcome it?
The hardest movie I ever had to pitch, I think, was Chasing Amy, because they were like, Ben Affleck can turn a lesbian? Bullshit. So I had to take less to do the movie, man. Nobody would believe it. I was like, he's charming. They're like, no, he's not. Not that charming. And that was one. That was the toughest one, actually, man. People they were like, I don't get it. I'm like, what's to get, man? He falls in love with a chick. He thinks she's gay. She thinks she's gay. Maybe she's not. It's about gender politics. It was kind of, that movie was about me and my friends at that time, we were all very jealous. A lot of people who grew up around where we grew up were very uptight about girlfriends and shit. You didn't want to date some girl who dated somebody else, especially somebody you knew, and they fucked around or something, because then, like, fucking be like, was he better than me, and shit like that. And writing Chasing Amy and shooting Chasing Amy, like, totally dropped all that out of me. It was real kind of therapeutic. So whenever I look at that movie, I'm always like, oh my God, like, especially at the end, when Holden's like, we all gotta fuck to make it right. It just makes no sense. But at the time, when I was a kid, like 26, it did kind of make sense or something like that. Now I look back at it, I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad I made that movie because it allowed me to put that kind of shit behind and stuff like that. You know, for years I was always like, oh, I just want to date people that don't have huge sexual histories. And after I made Chasing Amy, I was like, all I want to do is date whores, man. Because I don't want to like people with no experience. I want to date people with tons of experience. They can teach me some shit, man. And that's why I married Schwambach, total whore. For me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
This
so
was lovely.
much. All right, thanks for coming, man. We gotta go. Dunzo? Okay, one more and then we gotta go, man. Make it fucking good, dude. You feeling the pressure?
Yeah.
This is the last question of this panel. Comic-Con 2011. It'll never happen again.
So, you said the Red State was based on the Fred Phelps interview from Small Town Gay Bar, right?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact. Malcolm Ingram, my friend Malcolm, the guy I was talking about before who might have stolen one of my shirts, he directed a documentary called Small Town Gay Bar, and in it he interviewed, it's right in the title, tells you what it's about. It's about a small town gay bar in Meridian, Mississippi, and in it he interviews Fred Phelps, the guy that runs the Westboro fucking Baptist Church. So I watched this interview, and that's what this movie's about. Red State is based on those fucking people, the Westboro Baptist Church, a little bit. We kind of do our own version of them and stuff. But it came from that. It came from watching those people show up to funerals and fucking do all the shit they do and just be generally miserable in public and whatnot. And I always felt like, as an American, you can't be like, this has to stop, because everyone's allowed freedom of expression in this country and whatnot. But as an individual, it's heartsick. Like, I never want to stand in front of somebody and be like, you can't say that, because I like to stand up on a stage and talk about eating my wife's asshole. So I don't want to limit anybody's freedom to speak, but when they speak about fucking horrible things or show up making like people feel bad when they've lost a loved one and shit like that, you feel like you want to do something. And the only arrow I got in my quiver is kind of like satire. So that's what I went for. I went for a satire of, you know, the Phelpses, you know, because I always figure you take a monster and you defang it and turn it into a clown, and then it's just not that important anymore. So it's kind of a bit of where Red State came from. And we got no time. So for me, they were kind of always lurking in the background of the film, and they came out of the woodwork in droves once we were kind of done and whatnot. Megan Phelps is a granddaughter of Fred Phelps, and she was following me on Twitter for a while. I was pretty sure she was in love with me. She was just always telling me how I was going to hell and shit, but in a really affectionate way. And her whole family would tweet at me and stuff like that, and they showed up at Sundance when we showed the movie back in January to protest the film. They announced they were going to do it. They had protested me once before. They went to Kansas City. I played at the Midland Theater, just a Q&A, and they announced like a press release they put out, and they said, God hates fag enabler Kevin Smith. And that was me. And I was like, that's my new nickname, fag enabler? Seems a little long in the tooth, but I'll take it, you know? It beats fat ass. And so I dealt with them there. They came out to protest me, and they held some signs up and shit. They're very small groups, but they hold multiple signs. So you'll have 3 of them holding 2 gigantic signs. They look like a larger number or something like that. So I'd kind of been through it once with them and whatnot. They announced that they were going to picket our premiere screening of Red State up at Sundance and shit. God hates the fag enablers at the Sundance Film Festival and the pervert Kevin Smith. I got downgraded from fag enabler to pervert, and I think that's because I celebrated the fag enabler things. My brother had sent me the press release. My brother's gay as the day is long. He's been married to a dude for almost 20 years. So my brother sent it to me, and he was like, oh my God, you finally made it. And I opened it, and it's... The Westboro Baptist Church protest thing, fag enabler Kevin Smith, and that kind of shit bugs me. I don't want to be involved with animals like this and shit. And I was like, oh God, this is making me sick, Donald. And he goes, don't, you should feel good about this. Fag enabler means you're a pimp. You can get gay people laid, you know.